everyone, I'm Rachel and this is my design in a box. So this is what it looks like. Can't see the bottom, I'll just flip all there. So the poem I chose was I Chose Awake by Jim Morrison. And when the poem starts, it's about like waking up, and then it's like the day of activities, and then it's going to sleep, and then talks about dreams. So for my design, I really wanted to incorporate the three separate sections and still have it be like one cohesive design. And then the poem also uses the word choose a lot, so I wanted to illustrate like making a choice as well. So my goal was to incorporate both of those elements into one box. So to start, I started with a sunrise, which you can see here, to illustrate the waking up from a dream. And then time progresses and you go into a blue sky with some clouds. And I actually made the clouds out of cotton balls because in the poem it talks about the cottonness of being an infant, or I'm paraphrasing of course, but I know that's not talking about cotton balls, but I thought that tie-in was cool. And then time progresses again and we go to a sunset. And then, so this is actually the, I attempted to do the same mountain range as you saw on the other side, but the same sunset to show that it was like the same day. And then time progresses again and it's leads into night. So for the sides, I actually started with colored pencils for this to try to shade, which isn't really showing up on camera, but it has like a red-orange down here for the sky as well as the sun, and then it fades. I hadn't picked up a colored pencil in years, and I realized that I didn't really like using colored pencils, so that's why the rest of the box is done in paint, but I had done the two skies on this end first. So that's how I did to incorporate the three sections of what would be like the dreaming and waking up and then going back to sleep. And then for the ground, I wanted to illustrate making the choice. So I try to do a forced perspective from the river to the mountain to show that it's like getting smaller. So like if a person was standing in the middle, you could make a choice to go one way or the other. And my inspiration for this came from theater history, where we learned about how it was common when stages were raked to have the set design or the scenic design look like where all the lines are pointing to one spot to make it look like the character is like traveling. So yeah, that's why I did the river like that. And then in the poem, it actually talks about a beach and people running on a beach. So I made a little beach right there. So what I did is I found some pebbles and I crushed them up into smaller rocks, attempting to make sand, which is very hard. So they're not as small as I would have liked them to be, but I still really like it. I think it's really cool. And then for the grass, I used a different sponge texture because I wasn't sure on how to paint grass, so I sponged the green to try to make a whole bunch of different shades of green. And then what else did I do? Oh, and then for the river, I attempted, I used to really like Cake Boss, and I noticed how they would use blue icing and like spread it on the cake to give a water texture, so I attempted to do that with glitter glue and hot glue, but I didn't realize both of them dries flat, so you can kind of see the texture. It didn't turn out how I intended, what I envisioned, but I still really like it. And yeah, I think that's my design in a box. And thanks so much for watching.